Hello, YouTube. Bomba. Okay.
I'm Paul, aka
Meddler.
And I'm Andre, also known as Meddler.
That's wrong.
Today is
They
April
reversed
1st,
it.
and we're back to talk to you all about some of our plans for Season 2. Now, if you haven't seen the
Wait,
two
what?
cinematics, you should probably
Wait, is April? Oh, I guess they recorded April 1st.
pause now and go watch them, because we will be referring to them a number of times
Or am I
in this
crazy?
video.
Okay, if you're still here, let's talk spoilers. Last season, we watched everyone's favorite Noxian frenemies, LeBlanc and Vladimir, plan, plot, and scheme. Now we're headed to Ionia to find the powerful weapon they've been seeking. But we're not just going to Ionia. We're
Okay.
arriving just in time for the bloom of the rare spirit blossom flowers and the Ionian festival that celebrates them.
Holy.
Spirit Blossom is one of our favorite thematics, and based on what we've heard from you over the years, it's one of yours too. Also importantly though, it's a canon event in Runeterra, meaning that the festival takes place in Ionia with each bloom. Now with each season, we set out
Okay.
to create distinct thematic experiences that touch almost every aspect of League, from gameplay to
Can't wait for Noxus to like go in and slaughter them during the Blossom season.
skins, a new champion, to a metagame, for example.
So for Season 2 of 2025, we'll be continuing to refine our approach with many of these things and a few other surprises further out.
We do want to save bigger, more disruptive Summoner's Rift gameplay changes for the start of each year, and then tune and iterate on those changes throughout the year so that we're providing a more stable and competitive experience. That means for Season 2 this time, for example, we're putting our focus a bit elsewhere, a lot of it on game modes this time. We
Okay.
do, though, have some meaningful Summoner's Rift changes coming this season still, and we're going to hand over to Riot Frox.
I saw something about
walk you through those next.
Grubs.
Hey everyone,
It's
today I want to
Frogzone.
talk a bit about the Summoner's Rift gameplay changes that are coming at the start of
Tell
Season
us.
2. We've heard your concerns about objective overload, so we have some changes that should help find a healthy balance, in addition to a few other adjustments we have coming for Spirit Blossom. First up, Artican. In Season 1, we made changes to Artican's two forms, so you would see Voracious less often than Ruinous.
Less.
And while we saw a good initial reaction to this change, we still saw some frustration around how often Voracious Artican spawns in pro games, and how game warping his buff is. So in Season 2, we're getting rid of Voracious
Yeah!
Artican, and he'll have only one form, Thornbound.
It was
While
failure.
he won't look different from Ruinous Artican, he will have adjusted rewards. In addition to the Bloody Roses, the team who kills Artican receives all unclaimed roses on the map, and all of their bloody petals are purified into spirit petals,
Oh?
which grant 25% increased effect. Additionally,
Oh?
the team will also get a spiritual purification buff for the rest of the game that slows and damages nearby enemies on champion kill, which we think will be a more satisfying effect.
Wait.
And
Wait, so like you killed the Atakan, and then all of the flowers that exist on the map will be collected by the team that killed the Atakan. Then they're gonna be stronger 25%. Am I reading that right? And what happens to the petals after the spawn?
For the Bloody Roses, the team who kills Artican receives all unclaimed roses on the map, and all of their bloody petals are purified into spirit petals, which grant 25%.
The spirit
increased
petals are
effect.
better. So essentially, killing Atakan gets you at least to like 40, 50 petals. So you get like what, 50 adaptive force per person?
Additionally, the team will also get a spiritual purification buff for the rest of the game that slows and damages nearby
Slows and damages nearby enemies on champion kill. So it's kind of like Hextech Soul, but with delay. That's insane for the Dark Harvest playstyle, man. Or like Jin ult, like the barrage combo, slowing
enemies on
them.
champion kill, which we think will be a more satisfying effect. Outside of
So it no longer gives you the buffs on the other objectives, right? On the dragons, which was kind of useless anyway. Nobody played around. It was kind of shit. I agree with that removal, but I feel like that's gonna make him too broken.
Artican, we also have some adjustments for the Void objectives based on feedback we've seen around objectives driving game pacing, especially before the 20-minute mark. First, we're changing Void Grubs to spawn a single time, which will be a bit later in the game. This should allow everyone to focus more on laning and ganking, rather than prioritizing early objectives. We're also moving the Rift Herald spawn time up to 15 minutes, and making it generally harder to avoid her damage. Another place we've seen a lot of feedback on is the bounty system. One of the main issues is that it sometimes feels like you have a bounty when your team is behind.
Yep.
So we're making the objective bounty system more accurate, which should help bounties feel like they're only on when your team has a lead. Outside of objectives and bounties, we're making a small change to the jungle and support roles. In Champion Select, only junglers will have access to Smite,
I don't like this.
and it'll be automatically assigned.
Ugh.
Additionally, supports will automatically be given well values at load-in. Our goal
I
is
mean, I literally forgot, and I literally bought a wrong item. Yes, like the other day. I thought I was support. I was AP carry. I bought a wrong item. I went there. I had to sell it. I played without item. I was still the best performing guy in the team, and I don't mind it one bit. It was my fault. It was a stupid fucking thing, and I should get punished for it. It stifles creativity like so much. I don't like this. This is a really, really bad idea to limit it to one smite, to one support item. It's gonna make their job easier, and basically it's Riot Games saying like we lost. We're throwing in the towel. We don't know how to combat like this in a modular, coherent design that deals with everything. So somebody also said in the comments, it was a very, very good, smart comment on one of my shorts. That's all my chatters, by the way. They talked about how this is a potentially they're priming it up. They're setting up the fix for the lane swap in the future. They're essentially doing this, and then they can use that as a hard-coded thing. They can use the support item, and they can use a smite as a hard-coded thing to know who is exactly in which lane, and they can manipulate and modify the experience and the roaming and shit like that. Like, for example, if you're a support and you appear mid lane at minute 2, like, you will explode. Like, the game detects you have a support item, boom, you explode. Right? They can do that sort of stuff to punish you and, like, remove you from lanes that they don't want you in, which is, they're doing hard coding, and they're priming it up for potentially more hard coding in the future to deal with any sort of lane swap or creative gameplay. I really, really dislike this idea. I really dislike that the way in which they're approaching this problem. Yeah, I think people should go second smite if they want to. I think they should go second support item if they want to. Even though those playstyles generally tend to be on the more annoying side, but they get punished. Like, they shouldn't be the norm, but I think if somebody is, like, very good at them or finds, like, a creative way to make them useful in niche cases, it should be a thing.
Try and reduce certain types of trolling, and oops, my team doesn't have smite lol, lock-in failures. We're adding the ability to swap roles in champ select, so you can still ask nicely to trade. And if you're an unsealed spellbook bard enjoyer, don't worry, you'll still be able to get smite in game. We believe the ability to do this will discourage the pro play lane swap problem we saw in Season 1, without directly impacting the rest of us normies. Finally, we're replacing gray screen with a new Spectator UI, and adding killstreak sound effects that will play for your ears only when you participate in takedowns.
Huh?
We have a dev blog out now that goes
Wait.
We're replacing gray screen with a new Spectator UI, and adding killstreak
Cool.
sound effects that will play for your ears only.
Killstreak sound effects. Are they finally doing it? Are they finally doing it, man? Like, okay, they have a buff for Baus. His eyesight won't go bad. Like, reading, like, the gray squiggly lines, the gray black and white fucking gameplay, like, half of his day. So, Baus gets a big buff. And secondly, are they finally doing the audio, man? There's a video, you can find it. My video from 2018. That's 7 years ago. Talking about exactly this, how they can be selling different voice packs about that and having like a cool, because if you want, like if you primarily play Void champions, like having a Void like killstreak sound effects, like the sound effects that Dota had, the sound effects that come from Quake, that make the game so much better. It makes you enjoy the game way, way more when you get that monster kill, you know?
Only when you participate in takedowns. We have a dev blog out now that goes into more detail about the gameplay changes that you'll see when you load into the Rift at the start of Season 2, so be sure to check it out.
Hey everyone, I'm just a capybara, a director of product management. You can call me Drew. League is at its best when you're surrounded by people who are positive and play their best. But when you have someone inting, griefing, or running it down for fun, it just sucks.
Sucks!
So we're rolling out some updated systems that will better detect and punish people who want to ruin your games.
Starting next patch, we'll have improvements to our griefing detection systems that automatically identify
Okay, please
and
tell
punish
us how.
players for soft inting
How?
and trolling
How?
teammates.
Because some people just want to ruin games, we aren't going to share exactly what the system looks for.
Yeah, that's smart because people will avoid it. You cannot tell the system. The thing is, what I'm waiting to hear is essentially, I think they have to do this through AI and machine learning because otherwise it's very, very difficult. And Riot has shown throughout the years that they don't want to invest manpower to deal with this because they can deal with this. Like, they could have dealt with this the entire time. They just didn't want to do manual reviews. So I'm guessing it's going to be some version of machine learning But as soon as they say it's like AI machine, like I get a bit skeptical because there's a big chance that it just does absolutely nothing and completely misses. But I don't know, like how are you gonna police soft intent? Because I've had like people in Korea love surrendering, okay? And as soon as your team starts losing, they said no to an FF vote. My Tristana, or was it enemy Tristana? I can't remember, but it was so obvious that he's intent. He jumps in 1v3 and just perishes, dies because they said no to surrender vote. I just try to accelerate the game and get it to the like end point. And how are you supposed to know that like a challenger player would never do this? So for a human, it's very, very easy to know that he's inting. But for machine learning, I don't know how it's detectable it is. So we'll see.
But it's built to detect things like running around and not contributing to avoid AFK detection, for example.
Yeah, I feel like it can be this like glorified AFK detection system. Like, oh, you sold all of your items, then did the undo, and you walked around the base, like the pro player we had the other day. That guy would be detected, I imagine, because he's basically like doing nothing. There should be like some sort of like idle score in League of Legends. Like, what are you doing in the recent time? How efficient you are compared to that slice of time of other people. I'm pretty sure you can easily do that with machine learning. If your like idle score is high, like your efficiency score is low, you're clearly not doing anything. You're a Gwen AFK in the base, like you get fucking banned. Like get the hell out of there, right? If you haven't touched a minion in like 2 minutes and you're clearly just running around, it's obvious.
Additionally, moving forward, when you receive report feedback, it will include the name of the offender, similar to how the cheating feedback notifications currently work.
This is a good thing for like the feedback for people's perception of how effective this is, because when I log in I get like 2 or 3 of these, right? You're gonna get these people, oh, somebody got punished, I generally have a good idea who got punished because I can predict who it was, the most egregious offender from like, let's say, previous game, because it's usually automatic system. But a lot of people think it's completely fake and they're just tossing these out to make you feel better. People generally in community have this conspiracy theory that, oh, you're just tossing it out there. You're just showing feedback even though you banned nobody. Because there's no name, there's no confirmation, right? You cannot really know exactly who it is, so people think it's nobody. It's just a placebo effect. So this is a cool thing for public perception of, like, whether they're actually doing anything about it.
We know that this is an area that we really have to get right. We've been doing some tests for the last few patches to make sure our number of false positives is low, and we're confident that we should see very few. We'll also continue to refine this updated system over time, and we'll talk about it again in another dev update.
Further out, there's more work we'd like to do around smurfing and boosting in particular. That's something that we hope TrueScale 2 can help address, which, as a reminder, is a new matchmaking system that we've been trialing in some regions and modes. We also want to share some numbers from the Vanguard LP refunds that we added in patch 25.6. As of filming, we've refunded over 700,000 LP to over 30,000 unique players who had a cheater in their ranked game.
Holy.
And since then, around 24,000 cheaters have been successfully eliminated.
Yeah, like, we don't really see scripters and cheaters in high elo anymore. It used to be that, like, every week I'd run into, like, one master player, fresh account, 80% win rate, picking nothing but scripter champs, terrible macro, and he will get banned, kind of, sort of, after that, but we'd see him. I don't think they even bubble up to the master anymore. I think they just get eliminated before, so I haven't seen them in a really long time. That is a good sign, because we used to see them in master GM very, very often.
That's a lot. Aside from punishing players who waste your time by ruining games, we also want to take some time to thank all of you who bring positivity to League, whether it's through helpful and friendly comms, grouping for objectives, or just fist bumping each other after a great play. We're also seeing a lot of feedback on the recent changes to the honor system that we're working on. We'll be back later when we have some changes to share here.
We have a lot more details on these changes and some updates on changes we...
I hate how they, like, I hate this whole, like, fake positivity angle. They keep saying that they're, like, all for positivity, but they never really do anything to reward positivity, nor do they try to foster it. In fact, they lower the requirements for the surrender, promoting more negativity, more hostage holding. It's like, you're saying one thing, but you're kind of sort of doing the other thing. It seems very fake-ish, you know? You know what I mean? It seems fake. It's kind of frustrating for me to look at it because the systems you create fostering behavior, and you can lean the behavior in one direction that you kind of want, but like it just doesn't seem to happen. They seem to not reward negativity, but they cave into the negative players. They allow them to get away with all sorts of bullshit, but they're like, oh, it's positivity. I don't know.
We've made over the
I'm
last few
conflicted about
patches
this.
in a blog that's out now. So go check it out if you'd like to learn more.
All right, we want to talk a bit about modes and metagames. Like we've said before, we think it's important to consistently have ways to play League outside of standard Summoner's Rift. So, we'll be releasing a new game mode called Brawl.
Brawl is a 5v5 mode where you choose your champion, and it's played on a new map set in the whimsical Bandle City. And your objective is simple: push your minions into the enemy's base to win, and get rid of anyone who tries to stop you.
No towers, no major objectives, and nothing but your base's health bar to defend.
So like you're playing like Rocket League, basically. Seems like a fun thing to do with friends. Especially like, here's what I'm hoping with this one. I feel like this one should be customizable to a crazy high degree. It seems like a rather simplistic formula, but I feel like in this sort of environment, you need to be able to like tick the custom stuff. Right? So people can create custom game modes in the game mode, if that makes sense. Like you can tweak the number of minions that spawn, you can tweak the number of necessary things, you can do like some restrictions, you know, like a straight up custom mode for people to have fun with, and they can like, you should have like a regular one, but people in custom games should be able to make these for fun things, where they can make like fun tournaments, streamer events, and stuff like that.
It's intended to be a fun, action-packed mode for players who want a lower stakes game or are looking to get their friends into League without having to deal with all the complexity of SR.
Now, games of Brawl have been balanced with snowball mechanics, so while you might be down at some points, you're never truly out, making it perfect for playing with friends of drastically different skill levels.
Whether you're just looking for
Yeah, it seems like a perfect vanilla experience for people who are fan of League, but they don't care for like the competitiveness of it anymore. This is a big gap in the market for like in the recent couple of years. There hasn't been like a 3v3 mode. There's no Dominion. There's no, like, the only thing that's kind of casual is ARAM, but ARAM sucks. ARAM's a really bad casual mode. There's like way better stuff that they can come up with. And this is finally a thing that allows like casuals to play the game. And it's kind of predictable that they would release something like this because Riot Games has been steadily losing so much popularity. They lost a lot of player base in recent years. And they definitely need something that's going to captivate the... People are now over 40 because they started the game like as a like 20-something-year-old. And now they're like over 40 and they cannot be hassled with the whole complexity. And they just kind of watch pro and competitive and don't really care for the game that much. They need more casual modes, and they need easy casual modes for newer people to come in and start playing the game. That is also a big problem. They don't have like a good pipeline of new players to harness them and capture them. Arena is a great option, and yeah, they definitely need more stuff like this.
Time trying to play with friends or just want non-stop action, we hope you'll give Brawl a try when it goes live in patch 25.10. We can't wait to see what you think.
Now, if you want to learn more about Brawl, check out the new dev blog that's out now. Separately though, we also want to take a moment to talk about metagames. We're coming off of the Demon's Hand, and we love seeing all the combos you pulled off, and that's also teaching us a lot about what has and hasn't worked with metagames that we're going to incorporate in future ones.
We will have another metagame coming out in Act 2 of the coming season. As with previous metagames, we're going to keep trying something a bit different each time. All right, we'll hand things over to the Skins team to talk about
what's going to be next. Can we predict? Can we predict what's a popular game after Balatro that came out? So they did Balatro. What, is it going to be Slay the Spire angle? I mean, Slay the Spire is older though.
Hey everyone, I'm Steph, aka 100 Piece Nugget.
Hello!
And I'm Tom, or Riot Hylia. Today, we're here to dive into Spirit Blossom and talk about some updates to skins in general.
So there's a lot to discuss, but first and foremost,
Bro looks Ionian as fuck.
Back, yay!
Proper Spirit Blossom enjoyer.
Of getting crushed by Cassiopeia and playing tricks with Teemo.
And the contrasting duality of the Spirit Realm just makes for really elegant, stunning skins.
Yeah, and this time around, we're actually expanding on Spirit Blossom with even more champions stepping into Ionian folklore. These skins are now a manifestation of the myths told during the festival, like Ashe is the Wandering Queen who guides souls to the Spirit Realm.
Or Aurelia, who is...
Oh, maybe a tower defense, bro. Like, tower defense, like, I will be mad. I will actually be mad if they release tower defense, because I know they will not release anything, like, customizable with it. I love tower defense games. They should release tower defense games, but if they do it, they should make it like it's customizable so people can make their own like modes. Fuck! You cannot get a win here, I swear. Even if they do, it's gonna be like one Riot Games thing. You will gonna break it, kind of like the Demon's Hand. You'll break it in like 2 runs, and then figure out the best strat, and it's like GG. Oh, whatever, it's fine. Good luck.
Ash's ready
It's gonna
hand,
happen.
whose
We need tower
unwavering
defense.
loyalty led to heartbreak and calamity.
She has so many hands.
No, right? You've got more than she knows what to do with. We've also got Bard, Varys, and my personal
Nerf
favorite,
Bard.
Zyra, as well as Ivern and Prestige Spirit Blossom Lux, who will be earnable on the Act 1 paid pass.
Has to be
Outside of
Lux.
Spirit Blossom, when we were looking at
It's
skins for
always
Season
Lux.
2 overall, we took a lot of learnings from Season 1. We want to do a better job at offering a wider variety of skins that are focused on our champion-first philosophy. So in Season 2, we're introducing something we're calling variety skins. Standalone, one-off skins that are either from existing thematics or totally new ones tailor-made for that champion.
The first one will be Pool Party Twitch, which will be earnable on the Act 1 paid pass.
That's a good
Now,
skin.
I'm sure some of you are thinking, you know, what about Twitch Screams Pool Party? I mean, look at him.
That
He's
is
a
a-
little rat and he's got a squirt
that is a
gun. He would
great skin.
Totally cause chaos at the family barbecue.
And we gave him a little Hawaiian shirt.
No, he's so precious. He's a little baby.
He's a baby. So anyways, variety skins will give us
By the way, rats can come out of your toilet, and they can like spend minutes underwater going through the pipes of your toilet. So he fits the pool party theme. Like he can squeeze through tiny holes. Like as long as he like his head can go in. Like his skeleton is extremely flexible, so he can go like this, and you can squeeze through all the pipes. He's pool party certified. Love that skin.
more room to just focus on making cool skins for individual champions without needing to build them into an entire grouping of thematic skins.
We're also looking at ways to bundle variety skins together into a looser thematic of sorts, like the recent April Fool's skins. You know, they all have the same core vibe. They're silly, they're goofy, they're fun, but realistically, they could each belong to an individual skin line, like Pool Party or Cats vs. Dogs.
We believe that this is a better balance of skins throughout the Spirit Blossom season than we were able to land with Season 1. So let us know what you think. We want to hear your thoughts on how this lands during Season 2. And finally, it's list time.
List time.
List time.
So the
List
next
time.
Exalted skin this season will be Morgana. And then for Prestige skins, we'll have Zed on the pass and Aphelios in the Mythic shop during Act 2.
That about wraps things up for us.
Where's my VelKoz?
As always, we would love to hear what you think.
Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.
We're back soon.
Okay, that just about wraps things up for today. In case you missed
Holy
it, Swift
shit,
Play
is
is now
that
out globally.
Asmongold? Oh, bro. I think that bro is like 10 times cleaner than Asmongold, though.
So be sure to jump in and play a few matches if you haven't already had the chance.
And while you may have recognized quite a few familiar faces in yesterday's cinematic, there is one who may look new. Yanara is our new champion. who will be
Yanara?
coming out in Act 2. We don't want to spoil more, but we'll be back before then to share more about her
Asmon
and her
Silver.
connection to the Spirit Blossoms.
And then finally, we wanted to share that in May we'll be celebrating another pro who has made his mark on League. This player will join the Hall of Legends. He's inspired the next generation of upcoming players, and we can't wait to give him the recognition he deserves.
As always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the dev blogs, and we'll see you on the Rift.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Lovely.